Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video. We are currently at 7,750 trophies. We're going to be playing some top ladder using 3.0 Xbow Cycle, and we're going to be trying to get to 8,000 trophies this season, Season 31, using Xbow of course. So we are into our first match against a Japanese player. Gonna cycle skeletons, not sure what he's going to play. When you play a lot of ladder, sometimes you recognize opponents, but I'm not exactly at the top 1,000 range yet. So I'm still not sure of everyone. We see a Royal Ghost, so I'm going to go for a Knight, and Royal Ghost usually means either Bridgespam or 3 Musketeers. We see the Elixir pump, so it's going to be 3M. Against Elixir pump matchup, especially in single Elixir, I think you almost always want to just fireball the pump with Xbow, because you don't want to try and go in, get an advantage, and then find out that you're not going to be able to get a lock, and then you just lose. And so we see the Golden Knight. Gonna go for a Tesla in the middle so it doesn't dash onto anything else, and so the balance changes have actually hit, which I'm a bit surprised about, but it is what it is. So there are the 3 Musketeers coming down right now. Gonna go skeletons off to the side, archers here, and go for a Knight on top of the Golden Knight and the Musketeer. Looks like the Golden Knight dashes onto my tower, which kind of sucks. I wanted to get my Knight as the Musketeer kind of crossed the bridge, so that's a bit unfortunate, but it's okay. So 3 Musketeers did also get a buff. Musketeer got a pretty significant buff, I would say, the hit speed, and 3 Musketeers, it's applied threefold. I'm gonna go for an Xbow here because I kind of need a connection after that. I'm gonna fireball the E-Barbs and skeletons to catch the Barbarian as well, and looks like Heal Spirit kind of just invalidates my skeletons, and we're gonna be forced to log. We're gonna be down a lot of Elixir, and we didn't get anything out. Yep. Our opponent's going to be up quite a lot since he goes for Ghost when we're only at 1 Elixir. Gonna have to go for a Knight. Unfortunately, Ghost is splashing my tower, and Bandit is also going to dash. So, yeah, this is looking pretty rough already. That was probably not a great offensive Xbow. You can't really get away with Xbows, especially in single Elixir against 3 Musketeers, unfortunately, even though it seems like you should be able to, because they have too many counters. They have the E-Barbs, they have the Barb Barrel. Gonna go for another Xbow though, as he goes for a pump, try and make something happen here, and Golden Knight comes down. Gonna go for a Tesla, and this, if the Golden Knight dashes, my Xbow will retarget onto the tower. Looks like my opponent actually tanks, and somehow the Bandit dashes through my Knight, which is a bit unfortunate, but we're in a really bad position now because pump is down. Gonna have to fireball the pump, which is kind of late because my cycle is a bit messed up now. Yep, my opponent just gets back to another pump. Gonna go for archers and then skeletons just around the Ghost. And Heal Spirit comes down, just gonna have to go for Knee Spirit as well against this Ghost. And log cycle against the Golden Knight, and now I'm back to another fireball. Although this is still pretty bad because I'm down a lot of damage. I really don't think that was a great offensive Xbow, to be honest. But gonna go for skeletons, Knight for both the Bandit and the Royal Ghost afterwards. And maybe we can cycle back to another fireball for this pump here, even though, again, my cycle is very much messed up right now. Bandit comes down. I'm going to go for archers in the left because I don't have a Knight in cycle, so I can just go skeletons for the Bandit and then go Knight afterwards. We can go for an Xbow now since my opponent actually just played Golden Knight and pump, which is 10 Elixir. Should be down quite a lot of Elixir. Obviously doesn't have enough for E-Barbs right now. Golden Knight, Royal Ghost comes down. Gonna go for a Tesla in the middle, catch the Barbarian with the E-Spirit, and hopefully you can get a connection here. Gonna fireball the Bandit, and unfortunately, yeah, like, this is what I mean, is even though your opponent cycles 10 Elixir worth in the other lane, you still can't really get a connection because they have so many cheap cards. So much cheap, like Bandit, Royal Ghost, some decks have Ice Golem, Barbarian's annoying as well, and Heal Spirit is just really annoying for your skeletons. Gonna fireball the pump, and Gold Knight comes down too. Gonna have to go for a Tesla, and I'm surprised my opponent isn't going for any 3 Musketeers pushes, because I would like to fireball them, but okay, they're the 3M now, I guess. Gonna go for log, and I don't want to go archers in the left, because the Golden Knight's just gonna dash onto both. So I'm gonna try and go for archers in the other lane. Skeletons off to the side, Knight as well, and Tesla now, and Golden Knight's on the tower. My tower's down to 390, this is looking really bad. So I'm going to go for defensive Xbow now. I probably should have done this way earlier, but I guess better late than never. And maybe we can try and make an offensive push happen with the support of the defensive Xbow. We're going to go for a Knight up high so that the Golden Knight doesn't dash down to my archers. Really, that's how you have to play against Golden Knight. Going to go for Xbows. My opponent cycles E-Barbs, which is going to be his main counter to my Xbow, actually. So kind of a mistake, and Bandit glitch actually makes my Xbow lock onto tower. So we're going to have to defend this Xbow with our life. We really need this connection. Golden Knight dash does come in, But there are 15 seconds left. I think we can get 2 fireballs down in time, as long as we also just defend all this pressure. It's going to go for a knight, go for archers in the left to kite the E-barbs away, back to another fireball, and I don't believe my opponent has any way of getting direct damage on the tower, so we are going to walk away with the win with just under 100 HP of a difference. Going to give them the good game, and pretty intense match against 3M. I know I said it's a really good matchup back in the day, but a lot has changed since then. You know, they run Gold Knight now, Tesla was nerfed twice, and just overall pretty tricky, but we're going to get the win. 7,779 trophies, let's keep it going. And yeah, I would like to clarify, I did say that 3M versus Xbow is about a 90-10 in Xbow's favor in my Xbow matchup tier list video back in August last year. But again, a lot has changed since then. We do find a next match. You know, Tesla was nerfed twice. E-barbs are in the deck. Royal Hogs are in the deck, which are very strong. 3M was also buffed. You know, it just seems like every single change benefits other decks, and no change helps Xbow in all these balances. But we see Heal Spirit and Bandit again, so this actually might be 3M once again, which is kind of interesting. I don't really want to play this matchup again, but I'm going to go Archers in the same lane, and if it is 3M, they're not going to have any big spells, so you can go Archers in the same lane usually. Going to go for a Knight for the Ghost as well, so you usually do want to save Knight for the Royal Ghost. There is also another issue, though, when they run Gold Knight in the deck. You need Knight for both the Gold Knight and the Royal Ghost, and I'm going to go for an Xbow here, and I have a Knight supporting, so, you know, this should be pretty good. Go for a Tesla and log these Royal Hogs too. Bandit comes down. Going to go for Skeletons for the Bandit, and Heal Spirit just, you know, as you can see there, Heal Spirit just completely invalidates my Skeletons, and heals up so much. Like, for 1 Elixir, that is just absolutely insane, and I didn't get a connection, even though I had an Xbow plus Knight down, which I feel like I should be able to go for an Xbow and get a pretty good punish if it's a counter push like that, especially when they don't have a big spell, but they just have such a fast cycle. They have Royal Hogs, which are so much pressure. Gonna go for another Knight, and looks like this opponent, okay, he's gonna go for a high 3M, so I'm gonna go for a Fireball, and okay, looks like I missed the 2 Musketeers, so now I think I'm gonna have to let the left one lock on, and then go for Archers on both of these. Gonna go for Tesla for these Royal Hogs. That is definitely my bad. Gonna go for Skeletons as well. Do have to watch out for a Heal Spirit coming in here. It's gonna go E-Spirit far away. That's another counterplay you can make against Heal Spirit. You go E-Spirit far away, so it doesn't heal onto everything. But yeah, that was definitely on me for missing the Fireball, and so I wouldn't be surprised if I lose now, because this matchup, as you saw in the last match, very difficult to get a connection. But we're obviously not going to give up. I never really see the point in giving up, even against hard counters, so we're going to keep going. Split Archers, and now I'm going to try something I didn't try last match, which is defensive Xbows. I think they can get a lot of value, and just since my opponent doesn't seem to be having an Elixir pump, I think we can just Fireball log the 3M a lot of the time, the 2 Musketeer side. However, if we are going log in this way, we're not going to be able to go for a log on the Heal Spirit, and so that's also kind of an issue. Gonna go for a Knight, and we do have a defensive Xbow live, so I'm gonna go for an Xbow as well. You know, this should be a pretty good counter push, considering we have an Xbow. We have a Knight, gonna Fireball these Royal Hogs, go for a log, Skeletons for the Bandit, and Xbow locks on. Looks like my opponent actually messed up his Ice Golem placement, and so again, like I said, every single lock matters so much, so my opponent's just gonna eat the entire Xbow connection, which means we're gonna have to defend this. It's gonna be pretty hard. I think we're just gonna go for a Fireball on everything on the right side. Looks like we missed the Ice Golem, which I don't think it was actually possible to hit, so we're going to have to take some damage there. As you can see, if I overcommitted on that defense in the right, if I didn't take that damage, I probably would have lost to this Royal Hogs push, and even then I'm taking a lot of damage here. So we're going to go for the low Tesla and Skeletons, and looks like we are still in the lead just by a little bit, and now we should be able to, looks like we're down about 3 Elixir, so I'm going to go for a defensive Xbow instead of just Fireballing, since I think it'll get more value. Because Fireball log is 6 for the 3M, but then I still have the other lane to deal with. Now I'm going to Fireball and go for Archers too. Go for an E-Spirit to take out the other Musketeer. I can go for a Knight to, Skeletons to pull this Bandit in the middle. Knight to kite the Bandit, and also, as you can see, Archers in the same lane are huge in this matchup. Although I do think we are going to be down Elixir again, because we just spent a lot. So we're going to go for a defensive Xbow. Again, looks like my opponent is leaking. He goes for Royal Ghost, and this is also a bit awkward because we don't have Knight in Cycle. I think we can just go log, and we can probably just eat that Royal Ghost hit. Looks like it's going to go on the Xbow anyway, so we can Fireball these Musketeers. Now we can go for a center Tesla because Royal Hogs are going to be pretty stressful as a threat. So we're going to want to get that set up in case my opponent does go for Royal Hogs. And there they are. I think I'm just going to fireball them. Also hit the Royal Ghost. Good fireball value. And now we don't have fireball. And okay, somehow that Royal Ghost, even though I fireballed everything, somehow that Royal Hog still gets damage on my tower. But still not the end of the world. My opponent doesn't have any big spells. Definitely going to hit the 3M with this fireball. Not going to be like the start. Going to log this back. If you know that your opponent has Heal Spirit and Cycle, or wants to go Heal Spirit, you definitely want to try and hit it with your log, if possible. Don't let them get all that value. I think my opponent's aggressively cycling back to Royal Hogs here, so I'm going to cycle back to my Tesla. Fireball everything and log the tower. I don't need to fireball the tower, even though sometimes I like to do that just to ensure the tiebreaker damage. In a matchup like this, you really don't need to fireball extra. Like, if you're even up 50 damage, you can just defend perfectly and be fine, and looks like we were able to defend that and come away with the win. So, you know, at the start, actually I think most of my damage was because of the missed fireball, which is kind of on me, but I still think it's a bit silly how you can go for an Xbow when you're up Elixir with a counter push and still not be able to break through. But we're going to be 7,800 trophies now. Pretty nice wins against 3 Musketeers. Alright, so I'm back. I played a little off recording, lost a few, won a few, now I'm back up at 7,814 trophies, which I believe is 8 above where I ended off at last time. So we are in the next match against, I actually recognize this player, gonna give him the good luck back, and I think he recognizes me. So his name is Inat, and he's usually a 3M player, 3 Musketeers. We see the bandit, so this, I wouldn't be surprised, but it would be interesting if we play against 3M 3 games in a row, but we'll see. Royal Ghost as well. This could also be P.E.K.K.A Bridgespam. Magic Archer could actually be P.E.K.K.A Bridgespam again. Just gonna fireball the Magic Archer. Magic Archer is definitely not going to be 3M though, so he's playing a similar kind of deck, because I guess his 3M decks usually do run Bandit, Royal Ghost, so he knows how to play the cards, but going to be a different variant. So if it's P.E.K.K.A Bridgespam, I'll be pretty happy. Pretty good matchup. And okay, we actually see the Heal Spirit, so I'm just going to log it back. And Barbarians as well, so this is actually going to be a Bridgespam deck with no big spell, I believe. Since I've seen it around a bit, usually they have Cannon Cart and E-Barbs or Archer Queen, 2 out of the 3, usually is a combination. This is a trick I like to do against Royal Ghost, split your archers in the middle, and it looks like the Bandit kind of took them out, so I'm going to take some damage against the Royal Ghost. That's fine though, just going to fireball the Magic Archer and not overreact. Again, like I said, my opponent is probably going to have either E-Barbs or Cannon Cart, and so if I go for an Xbow, that's just going to give them a free set of E-Barbs or a free Cannon Cart, because that's going to fully counter the Xbow and counter push. I'm going to be down Elixir after doing that. So that's why I'm not going to go for an Xbow, even though I took some damage. And also, I don't think my opponent has a big spell in this deck, which means if I defend perfectly, I will still be able to do just fine. So Royal Ghost comes down. I'm actually going to let this Tesla die. Sometimes you want to protect your Tesla, but I don't actually know if this deck has a win con, like a tower targeting win condition like Battle Ram or Ram Rider. And I think I can just go for Skeletons on this Ghost because Tesla was alive enough to hit it once. So just Skeletons to counter the Ghost, E-Spirit to counter the Heal Spirit. I'm going to go Archers like this to take out the Barbarian, and I wanted them to split. Now I'm going to go for a defensive Xbow, and this is actually how I like to play this matchup. I'm going to go for a Knight for the Ghost, Skeletons for the Bandit, and there's the Cannon Cart, like I said. So I'm kind of tempted to fireball this, but my opponent does also have the Magic Archer, so I think I will fireball it though, because I do have the defensive Xbow still alive, and as you can see, defensive Xbow staying alive the whole time, and my opponent's not really having a great response to it, which kind of confirms that they're not going to have a big spell in this deck. So general Xbow fundamental rule, if the opponent doesn't have a big spell in their deck, usually defensive Xbows are going to be good against them. I'm just going to go for it again. Also I'm going for it in this lower placement here, so that I can fit a Tesla in the middle if I really want to. Hopefully the Xbow locks onto the Magic Archer here. It does, perfect. And so basically anything my opponent plays is going into my defensive Xbow. And so as long as I don't overcommit, and as long as I don't lose to a Magic Archer on my tower, I should be able to win with this game plan. So, you know, this is a bit boring, but in this matchup where they have Cannon Cart, and I think he still hasn't revealed one card, which could be E-Barbs, I'm going to go for another defensive Xbow here, and yeah, this looks bad, but like this is how you have to play, because if you go for an offensive Xbow, you are just going to give them a free Cannon Cart on your Xbow. You're not going to be able to defend against the Cannon Cart, against the Barbarian, against the Heal Spirit, healing everything up. You saw how it worked against the 3 Musketeers matchup, where I tried to go in, it just didn't work because Xbow's just not that strong of a card anymore. you can't break through against everything just by going for Xbows. It's sadly how it is. So I'm gonna go for a knight, and I feel like I could go for an Xbow here because I have a knight's counter pushing, but I think since my opponent kind of predicted that, it was the right decision not to go in. You know, I'm playing this very slowly, very patiently, but again, I think it's just how you have to play this matchup. I'm gonna go for a knight to make sure the cannon cart doesn't do anything funny. He's back to another one, so I can just go for low archers to make sure they don't get sniped. Log the cart back. Now I have to watch out maybe for a magic archer. Gonna go for skeletons, and back to another knight though, and I'm back to another set of archers too, so you know, defense going just fine here. Gonna go for another defensive Xbow, and magic archer comes down, which should be targeted by the Xbow, so perfect. Log the cart back, and I think Xbow will also take care of the cart. Gonna go for a knight, and I think I can actually go for an Xbow now, because that's a +2 trade on the bandit. Have archers coming down in the left as well. Now I have a really big counter push. My opponent did predict with the magic archer, which is well played. Gonna go for a knight, and as you can see, I have so much DPS now. E-barbs come down, but I'm actually able to defend against them. But even then, like I had so much on the board. Gonna go for another Xbow this time, but you can see there I didn't even break through despite the huge advantage I had. Now I'm able to break through because my opponent was low on Elixir, didn't have enough for the cart in time, so that's going to be a good game. He's going to give me the good luck, which means he's probably going to be a bit upset. Going to fireball that and log, and that's going to be the game. So, you know, Bridgespam, no big spell, not the easiest matchup, but Xbow should win if you play the way I played. He's going to be upset. I'm going to give him the good game, well played, because honestly he tried his best to break through, and if Xbow defends perfectly, you will defend just fine. That's going to put us at 7, 8, 42 trophies, but yeah, some matchups you really just need to play like that because of the Xbow nerfs. Alright, so we're looking for another match, and we found it against a Japanese player from the clan Xbow, so could be an Xbow mirror match, could also be someone trying to make a statement about Xbow, not sure. Just gonna cycle log first play, and we see the Royal Ghost, so we're just gonna go for a knight. So much Royal Ghost actually. I think I've seen Royal Ghost in all 3 games today so far, and Battle Ram too, so this one's probably gonna be P.E.K.K.A Bridgespam for real this time. But yeah, Royal Ghost, such a good card, such an underrated card, and just a very, very good spot in the meta right now for sure. So we see Ewas as well, and yeah, Battle Ram basically confirmed it's going to be P.E.K.K.A because the 3M decks that we played against didn't run Battle Ram, you know, back in the day. They used to, the good old days, but not anymore. We see the Archer Queen too, so we're going to go for an Xbow, and I was going to say, I'm wondering if it's going to be P.E.K.K.A Bridgespam with Magic Archer or Minions. I actually forgot that it could be Archer Queen as well. So I think Xbowing opposite of Archer Queen, especially in singles, always a pretty good play. P.E.K.K.A does come down. We can just fireball this queen back to avoid all damage, and definitely can just let the P.E.K.K.A take out the Xbow, let the Xbow die. Absolutely no need to overcommit on the Xbow here. E-Spirit to clean up. If I could have gone for a knight, and hopefully this P.E.K.K.A doesn't get a hit on my tower. If my opponent went for a zap, could have been scary, but looks like he didn't. But yeah, P.E.K.K.A Bridgespam with Archer Queen should be... It's interesting because Archer Queen is pretty stressful and threatening, but also it means we don't have to worry about any Magic Archer alignments on our tower at all. So that should be a pretty welcome aspect of this matchup as well. And one difference between the different versions, we're going to go for archers in the same lane here, because if I split them, they won't really get as much value against the bandit. And I can also my opponent probably won't go for a spell. Since if he fireballs them, it will be an overcommitment, and we can actually fireball this Ewas because Archer's going to stay alive and take it out, and he's still going to have to respond to the archers, most likely in the form of zap. Yep, there it comes, so pretty decent spot for us. I'm going to go for an Xbow now. We're heading into double Elixir, and wow, my opponent actually goes for P.E.K.K.A. Going to go for a knight to predict the Archer Queen as it comes down. Nice, going to go archers to take it out as well, and ability pops early, so going to try and go skeletons to protect, fireball to take out the Archer Queen, and that was this is going to be a pretty good connection, although now we're going to really have to chill out and defend, because that was a huge overcommitment on offense. It worked out because I got a huge connection, but now I'm going to have to defend. So let the Tesla die, go knight, archers on the side to take out the Ewas, I can go E-Spirit to reset the Battle Ram, fireball the Barbarians as they come out, skeletons to block the P.E.K.K.A, and that's going to be a really perfect defense, so really nice defense. I can just go for a knight against the queen, log it back once the ability comes down. I always say this, but logging back the queen when it's in ability mode is always really good. I can split archers, and my opponent's pressuring here as he should. He's up Elixir, up in the sequence. Just going to go for skeletons, and I don't need to go for a knight here. I'm going to take a bit of damage, but it's okay because I don't want to overcommit. Yet my opponent's still pressuring, and I wasn't full on Elixir, so if I went for a knight, it would have been pretty good big overcommit. Now I can go for a defensive Xbow. especially because my opponent doesn't have a magic archer, so it'll just get a lot of value. He's going to be forced to either fireball it or just let it get value. They can go for archers too, fireball this archer queen back, and go for skeletons to make sure it doesn't get any hits. Knight as well. Hopefully the ghost comes back to the knight and not the tower, as it does. Now I can go for an Xbow because I have a knight counter pushing as well as the defensive Xbow still alive, so I'm going to go for that. P.E.K.K.A comes down, but it's low, which means my opponent's not that high on Elixir right now, and probably doesn't want to feed my defensive Xbow either. I can just go for a fireball log on this. It's an overcommitment, but I'm in an offensive sequence, and as you can see, I still get a bunch of damage. My opponent's forced to fireball, and I still get a lot of damage. That's going to be 2 logs and a fireball. So I'm going to go for skeletons, Tesla, and actually I think I can just go for 2 fireballs. So there's going to put the first one down, and now I can just defend. No need to just spam, cycle, haphazardly, and choke. I've done that before. Not a fun experience. Just going to, cycle normally, give him the good game, and that's going to be a real nice win against P.E.K.K.A Archer Queen. So, real nice final match of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. 3.0 Xbow top ladder push. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.